Lecture 5 of K5. So in this lecture, I will discuss about the system. That is the introduction part of system. So let's move to the slide. So a system. Till now, we have studied about signals. So different types of signals, different operations on the signal, how the signal will look like, or how we will represent the signal. So now we will discuss about from this class we will discuss about the system. So before going to start the system, I have to know what is system. So what is system? So see, if you will go for the definition, as per definition, system is defined as a physical device. System is defined as a physical device that generates response. That generates response from a given input. From a given from a given. So generally, I can define the system as it is a physical device which generates response or output signal for a particular given input. So basically, systems will give you the response according to the input signal, and all the input will be all the inputs are considered as a signal, and as well as the output also considered as a signal. So if I am going to draw the normal basic diagram of system, it will look like this. System, this is input signal, and whatever I am getting, that is output. So with the help of the signal, I can replace the system. So suppose if x of t is my input signal, and y of t is the output signal. This is y of t. So y of t is basically the response of x of t. Okay, so y of t or the response of the signal can be represented by t of x of t, or you can write it for both the way you can write this. So this t signifies transform, not time scale. Okay, transform. So basically, x of t transform through a system, then we will get y of t. So I can say y of t is transform version of x of t. So this is the representation of system. This is the normal representation, general representation, or I can say mathematical representation of the system. So since it is depending on the signal, that is input signal, and it will give you the output signal. So depending on the input signal, I can differentiate or I can classify the system, and that is known as classification. According to the classification, the system is classified basically in 6 categories. That is continuous time system and discrete time system. Second one is static system and dynamic system. Third one is your causal system and causal system. Fourth one is linear system and fifth one is time variant system and time invariant and sixth one is stable system and unstable. And one more classification is there, that is depending on the connection of components, that is lump parameter and distributed. So in this video, I will discuss about these three classification, and in next video, I will discuss the rest of three classification, including along with lump parameters and distributed parameters. So now let's move to the first that is continuous and discrete. So we know about the definition of continuous time signal and discrete time signal. So if the input is continuous time signal of any system, then that kind of system is known as continuous time system. So this will give you system. If I will feed a continuous time signal to the system, and whatever I get the output, the system is known as continuous time system. And if discrete time signal is given to a system and I will get the output corresponding to the input, then that system is known as discrete time system. So now I have to represent like your continuous time system, like your continuous time signal. T is the discrete time signal, CT is the continuous time signal. So it is represented in terms of a T and it is A. So X of T is the signal, X of N is the signal for discrete time signal. Now output is Y of T and A. So according to the representation, continuous time system is right. And in case of BTS, that is discrete time system, Y of N is represented by that is transformed version of X of N is the output of discrete time system. Okay. Now we move to the next thing. Then if you will see that any signal is given in the form of T, that is sine omega T plus cos 2 pi ft plus tan omega T, then whatever is the system, the signal output, that is the continuous time system. The system is continuous time system. So a system mainly occurs input and output, so that we have to represent in terms of Y of T. That is Y of T is the output and these things are the, so it has to be represented in the terms of input, that is in terms of X of T, and output in terms of Y of T. So that is the difference between continuous time system and discrete time system. Okay. Next we will move to the second category, that is static system and dynamic system. So as per the name, that is static, that means from. Always it depends on the present condition, not past or future. Not past or future condition. It is always depends on the present condition. And dynamic means it is depend on the past, present, and future. Okay. So as per the definition, a system is called static if its output at any instant depends on the input at that instant, but not on past or future values. That means y of t equal to x of t. That is present situation. Let us say x equal to 0, y of 0 equal to x of 0. Again, if I am taking present situation t equal to 1, then y of 1 equal to x of 1. See, y of 1 is totally dependent on the present value of x of 1, not x of minus 1, minus 2, or plus 1, plus 2. That is present input, the output, the present output is dependent only the present inputs, not on the past or future inputs. Then this is known as static system. Now, since in this case no past and future values of input signal is considered, so I can say no need to store the previous or future value. So that's why this system is known as memoryless system. Memoryless system. Keep in mind, okay? That is static system. Static system. Static system is known as memoryless system. Because we are dealing with present value. So no need to store past and future value. Now dynamic. Suppose x of t equal to x of t plus 3. So in this case, say present value of t equal to 0. So y of 0 equal to x of 3. Now let us say present value is t equal to 1. So y of 1 is equal to 4. So see, the present output value is dependent on the x of 3, that is future value of x of t. Again, in this case, the present value is 1, but it is dependent on the future value of the x of t, that is x of 4. So it is dependent on the future. So I have to store the future value so that I will get the present value. So this is memory system. Okay, so dynamic system is memory system and static system is memoryless system. Now I am going to give you an example so that it will be clear to all of you. That let's say y of n equal to x of n minus. Now I have to verify whether this signal is static signal or dynamic. So suppose, let us say the present value is n equal to 0. So at n equal to 0, y of 0 equal to x of 0 minus 2. So x of minus 2. Again, let us say the present value is 1. So y of 1 is x of 0. So minus 2. That is x of minus 2. At n equal to 2. Y of 2 equal to x of 0. Okay. So now analysis this system. That is the system. This is the entire system. This is the entire system. Okay. Having input equation and output equation. So y of 0, present value of the output is dependent on x of minus 2. That is the past value of the input. Because now at this moment my present value is n equal to 0. But I have to calculate n equal to minus 2, the value of x of n at n equal to minus 2 also. So the output value, present output value is dependent on the past input values or past value input values of the signal. So I need to store the past values. So I need a memory. So according to the definition, the system whose in output signal is dependent on the past, present, and future values of the input, then the system is known as dynamic, and this system is known as memory system also. So I can say y of n equal to x of n minus 2 is a dynamic system. Dynamic. Okay. So now again I am taking another example. That is y of t equal to x square, and we have to find out whether this signal is static or dynamic. So now let us say t equal to 0, the present value of t equal to 0. So present value of the output is x square and t equal to 1. So y equal to 1. So t equal to 2, y equal to 2. So now see, in this case, the present value of the output is dependent on the present value of the input signal. In 3 cases also. In these 3 cases also. So in this case, I can say this system is static system. Okay. This way you can find out whether the system is static system or dynamic system. So next, move to the next point, last point of today's lecture, that is causal and non-causal system. Causal and causal. So very carefully read this topic, causal and non-causal system. Okay, so in causal signal, what we have seen, the causal signal, a signal is said to be causal if x of t is equal to 0 at t less than 0. This is causal signal. Okay. But according to the definition of causal and non-causal system, it is totally different from causal and non-causal system or signal. Sorry. So according to the definition, a causal signal is one for which the output at any time t depends on the present and past inputs only, not on the future inputs. Then it is called as causal system. That means if I am saying about causal system, then only present and past inputs will be considered. No future inputs will be considered. Future value of the inputs will be considered. And in case of non-causal system, past, present, and future value of the input will be considered. So this is the basic difference between causal system and causal signal. Okay, and if you will draw the causal signal, you will see it looks like this. That is, less than 0 will be considered as 0 and greater than 0 will be considered as it has some value. So I can say the causal signal, definition of difference between causal signal and causal system. In causal signal, x of t equal to 0 at t less than 0. That is not dependent on the past value. But in case of causal system, the output value is totally dependent on the present value of the input signal and past value of the input signal. And if it is dependent on the present, past, and future values of the input signal, then I will say this is called a non-causal system. Now I am giving an example to find out whether a signal is causal or non-causal. Let us say this is a system, that is x of y of n equal to x of n plus x of n minus 1. Okay. So now let us say the present value is 0. So y of 0 equal to x of 0 plus 1 by x of minus 1. Let us say the present value is 1. So y of 1 equal to x of 1 plus x of. So see, in these two steps, in this first case, the present output value is dependent on the present value of the input and past value, that is x of minus 1, past value of the input, but not on the future value of the input. So I can say the system is causal. Causal system. Okay. Next is, I'm taking another example. That is y of n equal to x of n square, or you can write it y of e equal to x of t square. Okay, this is discrete time system and this is continuous time system. Those two different things. Okay, two different signals. Okay, so I am considering this one. You can also practice this equation. Okay. So now y of n equal to x of n square. This is the system. Now let us say the presence value of n equal to 1. So y of 0 equal to x of 0 and n equal to 1. Y of 1 equal to x of 1 and n equal to 2. So y of 1 x of, so y of 1 equal to x of 4. So now see, in the first two steps, okay, the present output value is dependent on the present value of the input, and present output value in second step is dependent on the present value of the input. But in the third step, the present output value is dependent on the future value of the input. So always try to do for more than two steps. Better more than three steps. To find out the signal, whether the signal, to find out the system, whether it is causal or non-causal, always try to do more than three steps. Okay, because in only two steps, if I will not go through these steps, then what will be my conclusion? Since the input system value is the output present output is dependent on the present value of the input in both the steps. So I can conclude that since present only present value, so it can be called as causal system. But in the next third step, it is shown that its present output value is dependent on the future value of the input. So I can make a conclusion that y of n equal to x of n square is so this type of questions you will get in your exam. That is, the system is given. That is nothing but system is nothing but the representation of input and output signal. So you have to find out whether it is causal or non-causal, whether it is static or dynamic, and whether it is continuous time signal system or discrete time system. So now you see it is represented in terms of n. So I can say this system is discrete time system. And since its present value is dependent on the future value, so it is dynamic also. Dynamic system. It is dynamic system also. And again, its present value is dependent on the future value of the input signal. So I can say it is also. So from this equation, from the system, I can make a decision that the system is discrete time system and dynamic system and non-causal system. Non-causal, dynamic, discrete time system. Okay, so that much for today. So next class I will discuss about rest of the three types of system along with lump parameter and distributed parameter system. Okay, thank you all.